There's a rather fascinating tunnel there for a railway. We've reached the point, I believe it was an aqueduct. Well, it definitely was. Black brick of the railway. There's bits of red in there, but I think we're familiar with that by now. Usual black brick. So the canal crossed over there. It would have been flat across the top. There was a lock or something, some form of wharf area. It follows along this original railway, which was a steam railway. The canal does follow that route into Salford, and so the canal would have gone across there, and an arch bridge which we could go under on foot, or possibly a tramway is evident here. That's why the wall starts to curve. I don't know if you can notice the curve. Cameras are very funny at picking out curves, I've noticed. But that brick wall would have curved like that over and matched up to these bricks here, which are also starting to curve in there. So we came from over there and we're going up there. There's evidence of a wharf and a lock. I almost just nearly walked off the edge of there. I went up there. I've been up there already. Up there it appears. So I've been up to the top, and that's as far as I can walk to that edge. And down here at the bottom I've dived down again. So it looks like it was this wide. Not all the way up to that tunnel, but it carries on here still, the red brick for the arch. So it's a big aqueduct. And it looks like a lock from the top, but it's not. It's the start of an aqueduct. It goes into it, it goes thinner, and it crosses over here. So that must be where we were, so we'll have to find evidence and get as far up there, because we can't get from Salford now. Like I said, we started and showed you the map, but was still used as a remainder waterway in the local area by local businesses for free. Start point, River Well in Salford, originally Oldfield Road in Salford. It goes to Bury and Bolton, so that's where it ends. Has a branch of Fletcher Canal. Passes under Bloody Bridge. No one's really sure why it's called that. Must be something to do with a battle, I should imagine, but maybe it just appeared red. It started to look red, something like that, in the sunlight. Who knows? The Margaret Fletcher Tunnel is now replacing the original locks 1 and 2, deep lock 1. There's the new basins. We crossed Oldfield Road to lock 3. There's a turning basin at the site of the old lock 4, and that's the end of that navigation, because you go into the Salford Tunnel number 2, locks 4 and 5. That's at Millwood. Lock 6, and you go Oldfield Road, Salford Crescent, Windsor Bridge, so Crescent Wharf, Windsor Bridge Wharf was there. Then there's bridges, Frederick Road Bridge, Broughton Road, Cockgrabbing Bridge, Park House, Bridge Road, Agecroft Dock, Lumns Lane Aqueduct. Oh, we've sussed that out, that's part of this. None of that is now missing. And then you get up to Clifton Viaduct. Don't know why it says Clifton Viaduct, because that crosses the canal. We've Clifton Aqueduct yet, it's the Fletcher's Canal. We've not crossed over the over the aqueduct. If you're following us, we'll end up at that area today, and all the other videos lead down to there. So at Clifton Aqueduct, the junction with Fletcher Canal, you would end up going to the M60, severs through the canal, and Rose Lock, Giant Seat, locks 8 and 9 are there. Canal Bridge at Ringley Road, Preston Bridge, which is famous after Ringley locks 10 and 11, Hall Lane Aqueduct, which is now demolished, Preston Aqueduct. There's a dry dock just before you go up Preston locks into the Bolton and Bury stages. The basin for the Salford Arm is in that area too. If you went towards Bolton, from the junction of the 3 arms of the canal, there's a Meccano Bridge near Knob End Cottage and the Salt Wharfs. So in towards Bolton you would have crossed Farmworth Bridge Aqueduct, which is demolished, Fog's Aqueduct, which is demolished, Damside Aqueduct demolished, Burnham Viaduct gone, and you'd end up in Church Wharf. Oh sorry, Burnham Viaduct is still there, it's for the railway. 3 aqueducts demolished though, and the 4th we'll see as Hall Lane Aqueduct. We go up then, if we went back to the Bury, Free Bury, and the Bolton Junction, where the canal breach will be your first sight in Bury. Then Bailey Bridge, which is Mayhem Road, Matham Road. Ladyshaw Dam at Ladyshaw Colliery. Yeah, Ladyshaw Colliery. Ladyshaw Bridge. There's the Mount Zion steam crane and Zion Bridge. Zion also has a weir there. Then you get to Nickerhole Bridge. We filmed all these in other videos. Scotson Fold Bridge, Victoria Street Footbridge, Water Street Bridge. Just before Radcliffe Wharf would have been Peel Park, another one. So as it's getting darker, it's getting harder to film. The canal is now in there, and it gets filled in very soon. So I've decided to get on because there's a few more important bits of information I would like to get about the upper end of this canal. Just before Giant Sea and the motorway, as I've said, I'm careful not filming the top of my head, I always do that. So yeah, I'm just going to end now. Hopefully jump up and just in time for the sunset, hopefully, so we've got a big gamble on. It was the first bowling green, crown green bowling green in possibly the world, I think, but definitely in England, which isn't mentioned on anything that I've looked at. I found that out for myself by looking into Robert Peel. Daisyfield Viaduct will be eventually along this final stretch which we're familiar with, so Radcliffe Wharf. Don't think I've filmed Radcliffe Wharf. It's in there but I might not have mentioned it. Water Lane, Whittaker's Bridge, Withings Bridge, Rothwell Bridge, Anktop Bridge, Elton Feeder Reservoir for the whole system, nuclear waste, Daisyfield Dam, Daisyfield Viaduct, Berry's Wharf, original wharf, but it doesn't end there, it goes under Bolton Street, which is the A58, and there was a tunnel and it finished on Wood Hill Road near Wood Hill Mills, so it's actually slightly longer than predicted. Even originally it was longer. So what I'm trying to do now is match up to the action cam, which you'll see further down in the Bolton, the Manchester Bolton Bury Co playlist. For now, that's where the party ends. Site of Pilkington's is, as I've said, it's old. Used to have been making tiles since the early 1800s. The canal is now filled in, fenced off all the way. There's more canal, but it's behind this fence and it's drained, so it's not in a pretty sight and it's dark. So we're going to get over finally and finish this, although it's the start of the canal. So yeah, as I say, it was buried, it's now in here. We've raced along a little bit. I'll show you a pretty journey along Google Maps. You can just see the edge of it there, and it disappears into a fence again. And it's kind of all fenced off around here. But I'm just going to stick my shirt back on for the continuity. I forgot all about that. I am behind the camera, so I'm just going to do that before we continue. The canal went up that way because we're going up, but it also, in my other videos, it comes down this way. It crosses this aqueduct, and it's too treacherous to get down to the river. It went under a bridge which was situated here, and then splits. One goes in that direction to Manchester, and the branch canal was Fletcher's Canal, which was attached to Wet Earth Colliery. One day I'm going to do that branch canal anyway, so for now there was another canal that led off there. This canal leads up into the trees, because the original wharf was built like a long time ago, and Bury had an older canal which only went to Withings area. Anyway, so that's its route. So as we walked up from Manchester, I've crossed over the canal, which would have been accessible only by this old bridge here that used to go over and separate the Fletcher's Canal. So you can see the canal goes under that bridge and along the wall there. It would have gone round it in that direction. And that following Fletcher's Canal, incidentally, that was a branch canal leading off from the Manchester Bury Bolton Company Canal. It's now all in there, and the only remains of these bits of stone. So the canal went that way, so the bridge has to come over, and I assume there'd be another bridge over Fletcher's Canal which heads back towards the motorway bridge. Show you that now as we get to the aqueduct. It's no ordinary bridge just for the mill. It's part of the canal system, that, because the canal actually widens it. So we'll follow that up from here. What I have noticed is the site of Pilkington's tiles was once here. It's still Pilkington's, but the area was once called Pilkington as well, so they own the land. That's part of Phillips Park and Clifton Hall. But it seems to be drained from the water. It usually has water in it. And it's not the greatest fence in the world. I'm not trying to say come down here and but it acts like a moat, doesn't it, the canal? I've always thought that. That's probably why they kept it. But I bet they'd rather fill it in and put more pallets there, let's be honest. That's a 13 arch stone viaduct, which is also amazing when you think about it. And when you get down to the river, and we can see, we're going to end on this because I love this little, it's called an aqueduct, that's called a viaduct. Any bridge really over the road is still called a viaduct or an aqueduct if it's got water in it. So it leads off into there, and you can see it's going dark. So if I pop down to the river, it might just brighten up and we can finish showing you how it goes round towards the motorway. There's also a plug in this bridge, so you can drain the canal. You can put planks of wood across either end and drain it. Yeah, so it came across there, and as we're losing the light, it came into here, which is evident by these walls. I wouldn't wander around this site anyway, because it's covered in nettles. I hate nettles. Fell in them when I was a kid. That's another story. Don't remember much of it. I think I blacked out. Literally fell in them. And look, it's all blurred. It's like the Blair Witch. But this was a massive basin. I'm going to show you a photograph. A very grand basin, and I think you could travel from like Clifton Hall to Phillips Park Hall. So this was a public part of the canal, crossing over the aqueduct. It'd be wrong to get all this way and not film the actual viaduct for the railway, although this is a canal video. That was Outwood Railway. It went to a different stationed in Victoria in Salford, so I assume it was a different rail company than the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, but I can't be certain of that. I can write it on the screen though. So I jumped up along the viaduct. I told you there was a lot of smoke in the woods. Pilkington's actually on fire, and I could see that from work over in Bury earlier. So that's our sunset, everybody. That's our Mancunian twilight. And the canal then disappears under the motorway over there and follows this pylon straight over us, and that's where we left the canal last time and it was night time. So I'm going to say that's the end of this, because look at that, it's unlikely we get a sunset, red clouds, anything like that. So we're going to end on the fire brigade at Pilkington's. Manchester, Bolton and Bury Company Canal. Finally, complete. That's absolutely unbelievable. And the fire on the same day. One of the oldest sites, one of the oldest bridges, one of the oldest canals. Pilkington's, I think it's Clifton. The motorway goes through the canal there, and that is the major problem of reopening it. You could put a lock under though. You could build a tunnel deep down under and put a lock at either end. That's closest we'll get to twilight. Peace out, Manchester. I should really say peace out, viewer or viewers, wherever you may be. It's not just aimed at Manchester, it's about Manchester. Mainly about canals, but I'm trying to cover basically all the north side of Manchester, if I can, possibly. That's a pretty big achievement to say I've just finished that. I feel like letting off a party popper. But no, I've actually completed the full length of the canal, and that was the whole idea. And very soon, I'll have completed them all. Rochdale's next, Peak Forest. And then I've found a link all the way along Bridgewater Canal. I've already filmed the whole length of the Bridgewater Canal to the original mine. Sometimes I walk along and I'll, when I've just finished something, I don't end there while I'm in the mood. Don't matter that this bit's a bit blurred, because I'd normally record things and say don't forget to put this in, don't forget to do that next time. I've become fascinated with how Whitefield must have been connected to the infrastructure. Before railways, Whitefield existed and it had a manor. I've got a feeling Whitefield has got, like, it must have some link to the canal, the Bury Bolton Canal. Maybe it might be a tramway all the way, because it's downhill all the way from Whitefield, but I've become absolutely obsessed with it. Also, like the Heaton Park areas. So we're going to get into that. It is all part of Manchester. That's a note to myself and sort of info about upcoming things, which will be before this, as we've discussed. So it's definitely going dark. Whether I got a sunset or not. That's let's test out my torch. Does that. Strobe. You can't do that, can you? Does that for emergencies. And it has a high beam. And then, like I said, I never bring it, and I don't know why, because look, it films really well. All this time I've been filming, and I stop at night when I do have night lights. And look, I can even say it zooms over there. And it's quite powerful. And then if I notice that, I can open it out. It's a proper one for filming with, and I've never used it because I always thought it was too complicated. And the same battery goes in here that goes in my gimbal, so if I get stuck, Right now, it's all planned properly so I can walk home, but it also helps me go home. By the way, so that's the gatehouse to the old manor house. So that's where the carriage would have come out and the horses, and here's the old. Isn't that fantastic? The old little road off down there, superstar. Yeah, professional lighting. Should see it in a tunnel. Then look, you can go all the way over there, up the track. Anyway, peace out. So, Manchester UK brief videos of time, and this is what we're going to end on. I usually have a little cut bit of edited footage, but I decided this is my big sell, because a lot of people try and get investment in the canal, but I'm saying to reopen the Manchester Bury Bolton Canal means opening up all this to the city centre of Manchester. So this is a cycle ride away, you adventure your life away around here, nature, your heart out, fresh air. Imagine that link. You could walk your dog to a place like this from the city centre of Manchester and get sunsets like that through the trees, all these beautiful colours. There's adventure cycling. I know that it is absolutely epic round here. That guy's just told me. Had a chat with him. So I mean, it's friendly. It's a forest. You wouldn't believe a forest still existed, would you? And this is Clifton, and this is the Tillot's Park Hall. This was once private residence of a manor home. Then it had a mills in there, like everywhere else. And now it's, well, there's nobody here. And the canal is a link to here directly, because, as you've seen, trying to find that canal is a nightmare. Using modern day public transport, as I do, it's a nightmare. I have to find old maps to find the old paths down into these places, and I get lost all the time. That canal is a direct link from city centre Manchester up into these places. Now come on, council, pull your finger out. And we'll get some of them country sounds and follow this brook. And so you could have a nice country walk too. You might have just had a new baby, and you might be sick of the sounds of the city. Just imagine having lunch on this bench by that brook. So if an investor does look at this, you're talking a few million. I know it's not cheap, but you're talking a population of 1 million. And it's looking like a population of 1 million millionaires that are going to be living in Manchester. So it's seriously worth considering. And that isn't camera effects, that's how green and lush it actually is. I've even got a filter on, so that's less lush in the dark. So I've got a filter on so it's not quite as bright, and that's what we're getting. Let's get it duller. There we go. If you're in city centre Manchester now, just listening to trains and traffic, listen to this, what you could be listening to. You just want to come here and sit. That's a brook. I think it's Bradley Brook. I don't want to start making things up. It flows through Phillips Park, down towards Clifton, 13 Arches Viaduct. Pretty much everybody you see or walk past is in a better mood around here. And that's it. Finally, the Manchester, Bury, Bolton and Canal. Manchester, Bolton and Bury Company Canal and the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway finally finished. It's rush hour on a Monday, by the way, and this is just, what, half a mile away from the motorway, the M60 ring road. So one last little update, which will seem irrelevant at the moment, but in the next few videos you're about to see, there's concerns that this joint was drained. And it's full again, so it's been opened again. So while the repairs were taking place, they closed the gate. Get the focus right. And this is an interesting part. As it leaves Burrs Country Park, just over there in the fields there's some Shire horses. They're the true heroes of the Industrial Revolution, of course. But this part of the gate, it leaves Burrs and it carries on over to Bolton Reservoir. But this bit goes under the road. It's not a bridge or a tunnel, it's a siphon. So the water's actually being drawn down. Hello, Mr. Moley. And there's a little water rat running up behind me, so I'm going. So it doesn't go in through a tunnel, it hits the wall and the tubes are deep down and it siphons the water. Like it can go 5 metres below however deep you want. Yeah, incidentally, this is right at the very top end now in Bury. And this is taking water from the Irwell. And this feeds the canal all the way down to the locks where it would have done originally. The Margaret Fletcher tunnel, it would have gone through there if it was still open. So just step back from Mr. Ratty. He's there somewhere, you can hear him rustling about, and I'm dedicated to my cars. So yeah, the guy's got water in again and is flowing, and that siphon's working. So that's good news. That's very fitting because the next few videos are about not conserving the canal. Maybe someone saw my videos. Remember, this is previous to what you're about to see. So, going into a bit darker now, as I said, trying up to Clifton Aqueduct and a few more important bits just before I end. So, the sign off there. This is an outtake because my mind has gone blank, completely blank. Yes, it finally came back to me, it's the sunset. So we got this far. It's getting darker in there. It's harder to... camera's on the wrong setting. Camera's on the wrong setting now.